Dismal numbers, and we mean dismal, show the gender pay gap is still very real. In 2022, women earned 82 cents for every dollar a man made. That disparity, by the way, is taking its toll on the world's economy. That brings us to tonight's big number, $7 trillion. A report from Moody's Analytics saying closing the gender pay gap could boost the global economy by about 7% or $7 trillion. Now, narrowing that gap in emerging markets like India would raise that potential even further. It also found that the way things are going, it will take 132 years for the world to close the pay gap between men and women. Gayle Keller is the Chief Reinvention Officer with Gayle Keller, LLC. She laughed when I talked about that 132 years. She also wrote the book, Full Steam Ahead, Triumphant Tales for Working Women to Overcome Adversity, Fear, and Self-Doubt. So let's start with that pay gap. As I just mentioned, women earn 82 cents for every dollar a man earns. That hasn't changed much in 20 years because in 2002, it was 80 cents for every dollar. Why is it taking so long?
Yes, I had to give. It's great to be here tonight, Dell, but I had to give a little laugh because 132 years is a long time. We should have been to the path to parity by now. And so it's why I'm so passionate about the work I do. And there's a lot of people talking about the gender pay gap out there, especially in the world of STEAM. A stands for arts, otherwise known as STEM without the arts. But my work and my mission is to instill confidence in women. Because when I peel back that onion, it's not just that there's less women in the work, well, in STEM and in STEAM, it's the fact that they need to be more confident. There's a confidence gap compared to men. And it's not men's fault. Yeah, we have to uplift each other.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but that being said, women make up 44% of the workplace, but they only hold 41% of management positions. And guess what? Most of the women who aren't making enough money have to go before a man who says, I understand what you're saying. I agree with you. I want you to listen to what a professor at Texas Christian University had to say. Take a listen.
Still have stereotypes about who makes a good leader and who doesn't. You see that in the restaurant industry, in education, in healthcare, and in dance. In public schools, for instance, men make up the minority of teachers, but to keep them, very often they will be offered promotion opportunities much earlier than women are.
And then there are the microaggressions, men explaining to women that we know how you feel, mansplaining. How do companies change this, and how do women basically smack a man and say, okay, let's fix it now?
It starts at the culture level, right? If a person, gender aside, they have to feel good about the environment that they work in. If it's toxic, I advise people to try to fix it, and if they can't, well, then maybe you have to look elsewhere. But it's very important to focus on the wellness of people, the inclusive nature, giving people that flexibility and that opportunity for advancement. And there lies mentors, sponsors, allyship, where not only men uplift women, but women uplift qualified women, especially when you talk about climbing the corporate ladder.
You know, mansplaining is that term that was coined in 2008, and for our viewers who don't know, it's usually the explanation of something, typically by a man to a woman, that is condescending or patronizing. But that being said, men who mansplain don't like to admit that they are men who mansplain. So whisper in my ear a unique workaround for women in the workplace, basically to tell the man, get with the times.
Well, it's not about being likable, it's about being respected.
Okay.
So earn the respect, but also respect your peers. So have an open and honest, authentic conversation and give the example and possibly a solution on how that person can improve. Also, take a look at yourself. Are you speaking up in the meeting? Could you have added value and you held back, maybe because you lacked confidence or you were afraid because you were the only woman in the room? A lot of times we are the only women in the room, and so that just makes us feel uncomfortable. So I work with women to challenge themselves, to look inside, to say, okay, speak, use your voice. What's the worst someone can say? Thank you so much. We're not going to use your idea. It's not the chosen one. As long as people are heard at the end of the day, they're going to feel appreciated.
So, Gayle, a lot of women now not only are the principal breadwinners in their family, they are also the nurturers. They're the ones that have to make sure that they take care of the children. A lot of women are afraid to challenge their bosses for fear they not only will lose their jobs, but also the only way of providing for their children. Talk to them.
It's hard because you want to do a great job at home. You want to do a great job in advance in the workplace. And having a good manager can make or break you. So again, having that open and honest dialogue, as long as you trust. We all sometimes don't get great managers, right? But as long as you're open and honest, and you also have mentors and sponsors within your company outside of management to have these trusted conversations with for career advancement or possibly a lateral move. Oh, I'm in this season of life. Maybe I can't climb the ladder right now, but I still need to work. I still want to work, and I want to advance. And you never want to lose your position and your experience.
That being said, 149 women in Congress, 12 women now as governors, so things are looking up. And then there's that Nancy Pelosi person who did everything Barack Obama did backwards and in heels. Gayle Keller, professional speaker and author, joining us from Chicago tonight. Gayle, thanks for your insight.
Thanks, Dell.
When we come back, well, actually, we're going to stay. There's a street in Miami-Dade County. It now bears the name of Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. That is the same neighborhood, by the way, where she grew up. The justice speaking at that street renaming today, she says that is where she got her start. It's also where she started to learn how to be resilient and believe in herself. Speaking of achievement, Jackson, by the way, is the first black woman to sit on the Supreme Court, also the first to come from Miami-Dade County. Both of her parents still live there. Now, when we come back, there has been a push to review a new Alzheimer's drug. It won fast-track approval in January. We'll tell you why the FDA has now agreed to a new review. Plus,
So the fact that we're still here is a testament to the sacrifices and the survival skills of my ancestors.
we'll take a look at a project to restore Native American lands to their original owners. Stay with us.